August 1st, 1914. Les Halles, the legendary food market, the heart and soul of the French capital, wakes up in mourning. Not far from here, Jean Jaurès has just been assassinated by an ultra-nationalist supporter of the war. Pacifism's leading spokesman, Jaurès, had tried to convince German workers to refuse to fight. He had predicted, at a time when we are threatened with murder and butchery, there is but one hope of saving the peace, and that is for the proletariats to join ranks. Workers of France, England, Germany, Italy, Russia, let us implore these millions of men to unite to dispel this horrible nightmare. The order for general mobilization is posted across all of France. On holiday in Brittany, Louis Maufray, a medical student, describes the moment. It is a fine late summer afternoon. I hear the tiny bell of the cathedral ringing insistently. Everyone stops. We have understood. The women weep. The men, frozen, look at the cathedral spire, dazed and speechless. It's war. In the distance, we can hear the bells of Viviers, Mondol, Carfontaine, and Baguère-Morvan. It's heart-wrenching. On August 3rd, 1914, Paris learns that Germany has declared war on France. Jaurès is buried, and with him, all hope for peace. In France, Germany, and Russia, workers rally to defend their homelands. In France, Poincaré baptizes this triumph of the nationalist forces, the Sacred Union. $3 million Frenchmen are mobilized, following 5 million Russians, 4 million Germans, and 2 million Austrians. About all these men called up, Stefan Zweig writes, in 1914, what did they know of war? After nearly half a century of peace, it had become a heroic and romantic legend. People saw it through the perspective of their school books and the paintings in museums. Brilliant cavalry attacks in glittering uniforms. A resounding march of victory with nary a victim. A wild, manly adventure. A wonderful and exciting experience. That is why they shouted and sang in the trains carrying them to the slaughter. If they are not happy, they prefer not to show it. In Toulouse, a young farmer, Henri Desperrières, writes, any sign of sadness was banished. We swaggered before our fellow countrymen. From the French colonial empire, those then known as the natives and the Foreign Legion embark in Algiers or Dakar. On boats almost as crowded as the slave ships of the past, resigned, dancing for the camera, they sail toward a world of the unknown. In a villa outside Paris, the Ferrari family comes face to face with the reality of war. The men have been mobilized, as have all Frenchmen between the ages of 20 to 48. But in her rose garden, Jacqueline is confident that René will soon be back. That before the roses have withered, the war will be over. These farmers, off to defend their country, expect to return before the harvest is over.